last year for West Ham. It was all about finishing fourth from bottom. It'll run for Lanzini! Oh my word! West Ham have done it!
Souček has made the late run.
Souček!
And West Ham putting themselves in pole position for Europa League qualification now.
Hello and welcome to the West Ham season review for the 2020-21 season. Now, before we begin, leave a like, subscribe, comment and all of that. Buy my DVD. This is not a request, it's an order. Head to westhamclips.co.uk and follow in these wonderful people's footsteps, and order a DVD. Order 2 DVDs, hell, 10, 20, why not order 100? It contains an alternative commentary from every West Ham game in 2020-21, plus an exclusive alternative commentary from the final game at Upton Park. Any other information you might need is on the website. So, what are you waiting for? Do as you're told. Before the season even kicked off, we had an absolutely fantastic start. Not only did we lose the Betway Cup final for the 92nd year in a row, but the whole fan base went into a complete meltdown over the sale of Grady Diangana. I've made a full video about this so I won't go into too much detail, but long story short, he had a fantastic season for West Brom on loan in the Championship. Meanwhile we almost got relegated from the Premier League. He was the only thing West Ham fans had to look forward to this season, and we just sold him to a relegation rival. Everyone was fuming, which led to GSB out being number 1 trending in the UK. Mark Noble wasn't this animated since the UK agreed to a no-deal Brexit. Then WWE star Triple H randomly made a video begging Declan Rice to stay at West Ham.
Stay with West Ham. Become everything that they all know that Declan Rice can be.
Shortly after, the Barclays kicked off. The team's confidence was already at rock bottom, and this then wasn't helped by the worst possible start to our Premier League campaign, losing 2-0 to Callum Wilson's Newcastle, and then a 2-1 loss away to mid-table side Arsenal. I mean, we were completely hopeless. Tartan Tony Pulis wasn't making any substitutions. We already hit the woodwork about 43 times. And we were getting flashbacks of last season, except this time, we were staring relegation right in the face. But then, out of nowhere, everything changed. On the 22nd of October 2020, our £130 million reserve team were looking to cause an upset by beating Hull City in the Carabao Cup. However, just before kick-off, Josh Cullen, Diop, but more importantly, David Moyes, all tested positive for COVID-19, despite a Premier League stadium being safer than your living room, apparently. I don't know how you can find out that close to kick-off, but regardless, Moyes had to stay home for the next few games. Al Nervine took over and guided the team to a 5-1 win against Hull City, but it didn't stop there. We thrashed Wolves 4-0, who previously, we'd not even scored a goal against since they've been promoted to the Premier League. We lost 4-1 to Everton in the Carabao Cup, but we don't need to mention that.
With no prize money, no gate money, the win last night is marvellous. In fact, it's probably cost us £50,000.
We then went and beat Leicester City 3-0 away from home, who at the time, won every game in the league, including putting 5 past Man City. I don't know what Al Nervine was doing to the players, or how Stuart Pearce put up with listening to a Scotsman on the phone for 2 weeks. But it was glorious.
Moyes, we're gonna have to make a sub. Ryan Fredericks is injured. David, he has no pulse. The fact it's the 49th minute shouldn't mean anything. David, he is literally dying. I'm sorry, but we have no choice but to make a substitution. David, hello. Fucking fantastic, he's left.
David Moyes returned back to normal as we faced Tottenham, a very big game, and, well, we were 3-0 down in 15 minutes. It was horrific. Everyone was wishing Moyes stayed at home. That was until the 82nd minute, when West Ham started their comeback, to become the first team in Premier League history to come back from 3 goals down in the last 10 minutes.
It'll run for Lanzini! Oh my word! West Ham have done it!
The only thing better than the goal itself was the reaction of the Spurs fans.
Well done, Winksy. Away. Oh my! You're having a laugh! No.
Oh my fucking God! Oh my days! Oh for fuck's sake!
Can get it away, Lanzini! Oh no! No.
I'll leave a link in the description if you want to watch the full video. That moment would go on to define the rest of our season, and we didn't stop there. We carried on this momentum and found ourselves 10th at Christmas. However, we were only 6 points behind second place, despite an injury to Mikel Antonio for most of the games. The January transfer window opened, and within a few days, we'd sold our club record signing Sebastian Haller. He divided opinion across the fan base, but ultimately, he was the only out-and-out striker at the club and he needed replacing, especially with Mikel Antonio's injury record. However, David Moyes wanted to sign the right player, and not sign someone for the sake of it. We got by January very well by winning every game, and finding ourselves 5th in the league. Just before the window shut, David Moyes chose to take Jesse Lingard on loan instead of signing a striker. Many were unsure, but a lot of people trusted Moyes after the signings of Gerard Bowen, Vladimir Coufal, Souček, even Craig Dawson turned into prime Franz Beckenbauer. there was a real belief around the club that we could get into at least some form of European football, maybe even the Champions League. And when you're 2 points off in February, why not? Jesse Lingard instantly won everyone over, with 2 goals on his debut against Aston Villa. We then went and lost at Old Trafford in the FA Cup, but that doesn't matter, because Mark Noble will lift the trophy next year in front of a full capacity. I won't lie, it was a nervy end to the season. We hit the woodwork 427 times. And for some reason, 3-0 became the most dangerous score in football. We were 3-0 up against Arsenal and ended up drawing 3-3. The next game we went 3-0 up against Leicester. We won 3-2, but it really wasn't comfortable in the end. And then the exact same thing happened next week against Wolves. Only at West Ham could you be 2-0 up and be worried when you score a third. After this, 14 clubs, including 5 big English clubs and Tottenham, decided they wanted to break away into their own Super League, which, in the end resulted in nothing, apart from a few glorious days on Twitter. But the reason I brought this up is because had this gone ahead, the 6 clubs would have been kicked out of the Premier League, and all of their matches would have been given as losses, meaning, West Ham would have mathematically won the Premier League with 4 games to go. In the end, Champions League was too big of an ask for West Ham, especially with injuries to Mikel Antonio, Arthur Masuaku, Angelo Ogbonna, and Declan Rice all at the end of the season. However, the Europa League wasn't too big of an ask.
So West Ham in Europa.
Absolutely visionary. After finishing 6th place with 65 points, Tartan Diego Simeone's massive bastards have guaranteed themselves a place in the group stages of the Europa League next season. No Mickey Mouse qualifier games against Bitkikara or Domzale. We don't even have to worry about Astra Gugu after they got relegated to the Romanian 2nd division, and also losing the Romanian Cup final. To summarize, David Moyes hasn't been given enough credit. How he hasn't won Manager of the Year is absolutely criminal. He's taken the team who were staring relegation in the face, to finishing just 2 points off a Champions League place. Despite having no strikers for the majority of the season, despite having a net spend of around 4 million, despite all the negativity caused by the owners at the start of the season, despite having by far the worst training ground in the Premier League, and despite the heartache of losing the Betway Cup final. Ultimately, had just one of Antonio or Rice not picked up injuries at the end of the season, I really wouldn't have been surprised to see West Ham qualify for the Champions League, which is absolutely mental, especially considering how every season since we've moved stadiums, bar one, we've been fighting relegation. And to summarize how good the squad have been, there's 8 or 9 players in genuine contention for Hammer of the Year, and you could make a very good case for any of them. And there we go. That was the West Ham season review for the 2020-21 season. How do you think we will do in the Europa League next year? Don't forget to check the links in the description and like the video. As always, I'll let my good friend Jesus Christ do the outro, as he is a very smart man. Thanks for watching. Come on you irons.
Subscribe to the West Ham Clips YouTube channel.
This can now be placed in your bag.
Unexpected item in bagging area. Remove this item before continuing.
Bag.